So for this segment right here, we have a couple of clips that we pulled for you. And we were just looking to see what comes to mind when we show you these moments from your career and sort of your first reaction to it.
Guys with light blue hair never do.
Well, first of all, I was 20 years old. And when you hang out with Frank, you find yourself doing some pretty peculiar things to make him laugh. And I remember that because I had long hair for many, many years, and I was planning on cutting it that next day. The next day we had a day off in Connecticut. And whenever you can surprise Frank on stage without doing something that is inappropriate, it's always a win. So I just decided at that minute to just, because there's a line in the song that goes, I forget, it's like guys with light blue hair, something.
Right.
So and the song was about me. Frank wrote a song about me. It's not quite accurate, but it's very Frank. And I remember just going on stage and doing that, and it was just the next day I cut all my hair off. And what was funny was I showed up to sound check, and I wasn't recognized. The security guard, John Smothers, I came to the stage to do sound check, and he's this big black guy, bald and very intimidating looking, and he's walking towards me with those intimidating John Smothers eyes, like he's going to tear me apart. And then he looks and he goes, "Sport?" Because he called me Sport. Or Puppy. Now, Frank called me Sport. John Smothers called me Puppy. He goes, "Puppy?" And so I wasn't recognized because I cut it all off. But yeah, that's a silly moment.
All right,
Man.
That was interesting.
Epic.
I can't believe I just heard Steve Vai tell me a Frank Zappa story.
I got a lot of them.
Oh, I can imagine. I'll just share another quick one here.
When this guy gave you the call and said, I want you to play for my band, what was auditioning for Dave like?
The man's totally out of his mind, and don't let anybody...
Completely out of his mind. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
What comes to mind when you think of the David Lee Roth years?
Well, they were wild. I mean, if you ever had a fantasy of like being a young rock star in the 80s, that would be the gig. And boy, that was the gig. That particular moment there was the first time that we actually had started doing press, that I started doing press in the real world, and with David Lee Roth, who was a press magnate. So I remember when we were doing the Yankee Rose video, Dave had a stylist come in with racks upon racks upon racks of all this Melrose Boulevard kind of clothing paraphernalia of the 80s, which was, at the time it was like spandex and
Neon.
White pants with red lips on them, So all that stuff was very exciting to us, and we would just wear it. And with Dave, when you're doing press, it's you never know what was going to come out, but you just had to keep it real, keep it going. But those days were, I look back at them, and I'm extraordinarily grateful that I was able to have them. I enjoyed them when they were happening. I knew they were fleeting. I knew that it wasn't something I wanted to do my whole life, and that I was really grateful that I was able to do it. And at the end of the day, I looked back at the whole David Lee Roth experience, and I just wanted to feel as though I delivered, and I do.
Oh,
I feel as though I delivered the best I can, and it worked.
I think it's safe to say you've always delivered, whether it be Whitesnake, Alcatraz, all that stuff. And I mean, it's not easy. You're always at the beginning, especially, you're always jumping into someone else's sort of spotlight, right? And then you had to sort of make it your own. Not many people could do that, and you did it like 100% every time. And then finally, with Passion and Warfare came, it's like you just took off on your own and you did your own thing. It's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, without question.
I feel pretty blessed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.